I recently saw Trea Turner give an interview after a 4-hit game, and he was talking about how he'd been struggling at the plate recently. The day before, he'd taken like 300 swings, and he said he completely overdid it. So the next day, he didn't even take BP before the game because he was just tired. Then he goes out and has 4 hits. This reminds me a lot of something I experienced in my own career too. And honestly, I've seen this happen with a lot of players. There was one day where we had an away game, and I was supposed to ride with our pitching coach. We were at our home stadium first because he had to do an interview. So while he was doing that, I was just kind of chilling in the clubhouse. But his interview went longer than expected, so I just remember sitting there eating a sandwich and looking up at the clock. Then all of a sudden I realized, oh crap, BP already started, and we still had like an hour drive to the game. So eventually his interview gets done, we get in the car, and we end up getting to the stadium really late. It was honestly really weird showing up when all the fans were already there. Usually you get there early and ease into everything, but now the game atmosphere was already happening. Our team was taking infield when I got there. The game hadn't started yet, but everything seemed already underway. I walked into the clubhouse and it was completely quiet. Nobody was in there. That part always stuck with me because clubhouses are usually loud. Music blasting, people talking, joking around, all that kind of stuff. But this time it was just dead quiet. And honestly, it weirdly put things into perspective for me. Even though the game felt huge and important at the time, the clubhouse was completely silent. And it made me kind of realize in other parts of the world, people are just living their life right now. Everything's calm, peaceful. So I thought maybe this game isn't actually as serious as I make it in my head. I also wasn't really expecting to play at that point. I thought there was a good chance I'd just get benched for showing up late. So I was honestly just chilling. I got dressed, walked out, and then I found out I was actually starting.
Wow.
They basically told me get loose, catch the bullpen for the starting pitcher, and go do your best. I had taken 0 swings before that game. The first swing I took that day was the first pitch I saw in the game, and it hit a base hit to right. Then I ended up having 4 hits with 2 bombs, and it was probably the best game I ever had. And honestly, I think there's a couple lessons here. First of all, I think a lot of players overdo batting practice before games. Players think they need to take a million swings before the game to find their swing, but I honestly don't think that's always the best idea. Swinging a bat is repetitive. It takes energy out of you. I actually think less is more on game days. If you're gonna hit a ton before a game, do it earlier in the day so you can eat, relax, and recover a little bit in between, and mentally reset before first pitch. This is actually something we used to do in college, where we'd hit way earlier, then go eat lunch, hang out in the clubhouse, and then come back later and warm up. I think that's a way better system than just spamming swings right before first pitch. Because here's the thing, you're not becoming a dramatically better hitter in 30 minutes before the game. Your skill level is already your skill level. And skill acquisition takes time, like months and years. A lot of players are basically trying to cram for the test right before it starts. It doesn't really work. Your BP before the game should just be another practice, because that's all it is, batting practice. You're just getting work in, you're not magically transforming yourself into a different hitter in the next 30 minutes. And honestly, I think the bigger lesson is mental. When I didn't take BP before that game, something weird happened. I stopped putting pressure on myself, because in my head I was already expecting to fail a little bit. I was late and I didn't take BP, so of course I didn't feel prepared. So I mentally just kind of let go. I think a lot of players actually play better when they stop trying to force everything. Because once the fear of failure is gone, you become free. You stop trying to be perfect and prove something to everyone, and you just compete. I honestly think we should all have that mindset more often as players. Genuinely understanding that you really don't have anything to lose. Because if you fail, who actually cares? At the end of the day, no one's really going to remember the exact stats. Even if you become an amazing player, people are not going to remember every single number. And even if you have a big game that day, just remember this. Somewhere, some dude's eating yogurt and he doesn't care about your game. So stop treating every game like it's life or death. Just compete and have fun.